It appears that there's one thing for certain. We being here on this earth as human beings. And I'm saying this because I'm trying to see if we can lift ourselves up to include all of us to enjoy a much better entertainment of this existence, this life that we have for a period of time. And it brings me to a conclusion that perhaps there's something going on much beyond our own imagination. And that is another control is observing and has put in place a mechanism that would produce uh, the the most magnificent. That's the only way I can get it to come out. And what I mean by that is this: is that for me, I say that there is a power that is invisible. I say that referring to maybe the existence of the earth and all those other things that exist that we as human beings had no participation in. So I say that exists by a power unknown to us. And by that same power, we exist. And we are the magnificent creatures. And the power that put us together was really on top of it. And so when I think about that and I realize that this is the way it is, then it it makes you, there's something, some scripture that refers to the the elite, even the elite, those who profess to know God the most and to be so dear to God, would even be tricked by the deceiver. And that indicates, for the most part, that, hey, it's going to be tough. But then that's the ultimate test to determine the real deal. And how does that happen? The real deal happens by, let me see if I can go and help the young lady. The real deal, again. And so from that, we find that if this power is so magnificent, here's the thing that's supposed to pull us, drive us, then this power represents to all its creation the same as we. What that power, its connection with us. And it got to be great. You know, we know that. And so, knowing that, to change from the selfish way of me, mine, into the power and the love that is given to you is a love that's given to all. And that's your understanding. Now, here again, the elite does everything they think is right. But there's something that holds them back. And that is the same thing that holds everybody back. Here in these bodies, everybody wants to live, not just a satisfied life. I mean, they want that indeed. If they're living, they want a satisfied life. But even more than having a satisfied life, they want to live. And the great deceiver that says that you can choose, since there's no visible God, you can choose to be God. And your choosing to be God is to have a vision. And that vision puts you, who choose to be God, in control. And you who choose to be God is not held by a bound set of rules and regulations that others follow. You make yours up as you go. And you use them, you choose them as it is needed to get you where you're trying to get to. And in your process, you end up claiming everything that God has given to the human race. You can claim it as yours. Now, when I say yours, that means not just that your name is on it, but those that have chosen, those that have been accepted, those that have accepted the way of doing things that is in operation and its outcome. And we know what its outcome is. It's pain and suffering, it's poverty, it's crime, it's violence. All of these different things, it's hatred and racism, all of these things exist. But it's there, saying that that's the way it is. And regardless of how you might choose to be a righteous person, you want to live. And and the evidence supports it, that if you stand up for what is right, if you stand up for what is divine, if you stand up for what is a representative of God, and that is the righteousness for everyone, and wherever unrighteousness is identified at, it is the duty of God to draw attention to it and fix it. That means those of you, anybody that really knows God, will act this way. But now, we all know that if you go against the system, the evidence is that the system will do what? Yes, they will belittle you. Yes, they will cause additional pain and suffering. Yes, they will even jail you, imprison you. Yes, and they will also kill you. And every American knows that. And so, for the most part, I don't care how righteous you've gotten. Americans and everybody all across the globe, I don't care how righteous you have gotten, you still are unrighteous enough to put up with all the pain and suffering that this lie, that this deception, that these systems of men that causes this pain and suffering to all of God's creative children. Well, those that are real, those that carry on for God, those that identify God, they get killed. Phew. Now to us, excuse me, they are gone. To us, we know how good they were. We know how kind they were. But we did not know of a God that saved them. We do not know of a God that came to their rescue and allowed them to continue to live and to keep on doing the good things that they were doing. The God that they represent allowed them to die. And in so doing it, he lost your vote. So you will yield and put up with all of the junk that goes on. Because you don't understand that getting killed was this path that was laid for those who represent God. These are the ones that are not playing games. These are the ones that give their life for life. These are God's created chosen ones that have yielded to the truth. And no, they're no longer here. But even you, when your time comes, will be gone. But will you be identified as God's chosen one by what life you live, by the life you committed yourself to? Or will you be just another person in the graveyard of life? Well, it is what it is. If you didn't get the message, perhaps it's not even your fault. Perhaps it's the teacher's fault. And that's why you keep living and keep going through the pain, keep going through the suffering, from one system to another, trying to pretend as if you're seeking the truth. Wow. I didn't mean to start off like that, but it ended up like that. So I guess it's a message that was supposed to be shared, because right now we are trying to pretend, kid ourselves in America and around the globe, that democracy is better than all of the other systems of government. And all of the systems of government, wherever they are located, produce the same outcome. Some got, some don't. Pain and suffering, poverty, crime and violence, racism, terror, all you name it. Why? Because they don't want to do for others the same as they want done for themselves. They have bought the lie that they are better than others. Well, unless you change that, unless that you die trying to change that, you just a part of the problem. Now that means that for those of you who are spending your lifetimes out here trying to be like the Joneses, spending your lifetime trying to make sure you look like you're just as successful as others, you're not even thinking about what's really going on. You're just trying to make sure that you don't be a part of it, one way or the other. You don't be a part of trying to change it because you're so busy trying to provide that you don't get in it. And at the same time, causing it, giving it breath, giving it life. And the call of life is that you're willing to give up life for life. Wow, how deep that can be. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Till next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.